So, welcome back to the last documentary hypothesis, which I'll be talking about. Now, the last one is what we call the fragmentary hypothesis. I've been able to talk about the documentary hypothesis, which says that 4 sources are responsible for the composition of the Pentateuch. While I talk about the supplementary hypothesis, which hold on the fact that Moses was the author of the core text of the Pentateuch, or the core information or event of the Pentateuch, while some later editors actually added their own supplement informations to it. So now, talking about fragmentary hypothesis, to simply put, this theory states that the Pentateuch was composed from a collection of small independent fragments or traditions, so which were later compiled and edited into the current form. So from the word fragment means the smallest part of something. That is the combination of fragment information, the combination of traditions, the combination of independent fragments, information from one place, from one person, from another person, were gathered together, and this information later became the Pentateuch, the whole Pentateuch. So now let's see the suggestion or the key point to note in this hypothesis. The first one is that the Pentateuch originated from various oral and written traditions, so which include stories, legends, law, and rituals. So for instance, we have the creation story, the flood story, which can be compared. So this is believed to would have been gotten from the Annals, the ancient Near Eastern text. So they got some information there from the ancient Near Eastern text, the flood story, the creation stories, which has a very obvious similarity with the Annals. So it is believed that some informations were gotten from that. So this is a fragment. This is a fragmental information, fragmental event that we have in the Pentateuch. That is one fragment to another one. So they gathered everything together to actually join them together. So that is one. Another point to be noted is that these fragments, or the pieces or sections and portions, these different portions, sections, were passed down through generations, just like folklore, just like myth, just like mythology, transferring one information from one generation to another generation. So with different groups and individual contributing to the collection. So as they transfer the information, different people, different individuals actually contributed to the collection of this information. So later editors actually gathered and compiled these fragments. You understand? So I heard from, you also added your own, go to another person, get another information. So they gathered these informations together by the editors, the later editors. So they compiled them together, these fragments. So they link them with transitional phrases, and connecting phrases rather. By the time they were merging them together, they used some transitional phrases and some connecting phrases, connecting narratives to actually make this whole stuff or fragment to become a body of literature. So another one is that the editors may have worked in stages actually, so with multiple layers of compilation and editing. So they might have worked in different stages, gone through different stages, and they might have used multiple layers of compilation and editing. So it cannot, that is, let's say that it might not be one edition. So different might have gone through different edition before it now became a whole book. So another one is that the final product or the Pentateuch is the compilation of these diverse fragments, which may not always form a unified story. By the time they gathered everything together, so the compilation of all these fragments is now what we call the Pentateuch. So the whole books, Pentateuch, the gathering of all these things. So this hypothesis actually emphasizes the complexity and the diversity of the Pentateuch sources, acknowledging that the text may not have a single unified authorship or narrative structures. So like I said, it actually emphasizes on oral. Now let's see the features of this supplementary hypothesis. So this supplementary what's it called, fragmentary hypothesis emphasizes on oral and written traditions. It emphasizes on oral and written traditions. That's most of this information. Before it became a book, it has gone through stages of oral transmission. So diversity of sources and contributors too. So there is this diversity of sources and different contributions were made to this. So compilation and editing over time, and lack of a unified narrative structure. So now let's see, the conclusion of this hypothesis is that this hypothesis is often seen as an alternative to the documentary hypothesis, so the JDP, and the supplementary hypothesis, offering a more that is, let me say, a double insight or nuanced understanding of the Pentateuch composition history. So in conclusion of this whole criticism on the Mosaic authorship of the Pentateuch is that the conclusion of this whole theories is that these theories actually, in conclusion rather, so why these theories acknowledge the difficulty of the Pentateuch composition, so they do not necessarily dismiss Mosaic involvement entirely. It's not saying that they remove the involvement of Mosaic contribution to the composition of the Pentateuch. So some scholars propose that Moses may have contributed to the text or provided the initial oral traditions that were later written down and edited. So, but basically, this topic is telling us that the Pentateuch, the whole Pentateuch, was not written by an author. So it was written by different author, compiled by different author. Though Moses might have been the main author of the Pentateuch. Thank you for watching this. So in our next classes, in our next video or lessons, I will now move to the first book, which is Genesis. So I hope to actually have you to watch this or anticipate this video. Thank you so much, and don't forget to subscribe. So not subscribe alone, also like, also share this video, and help us in prayer too. Thank you. Bye.